Welcome to IHIP News, where we share our opinion about the news that is important to us. And there's just a subject that I shouldn't enjoy talking about, but I rather do. And it is, of course, the subject of Speaker of the House, Moses Mike Johnson, who gave his daughter a purity ring, which is creepy and weird, monitors his son's porn, and his son monitors his porn.
Which is even creepier and weirder.
And he is BFFs. This big Christian guy, Moses Mike Johnson. He is BFFs with Donald John Trump, who we call here at IHIP News, Donovan Lecter. Kylie, play the clip.
And I think with our little secret, we're going to do really well with the House, right? Our little secret is having a big impact. He and I have a secret. We'll tell you what it is when the race is over.
Oh, you've got a little secret with Moses Mike Johnson. I wonder what that is. It sounds like some fuckery to me.
Yeah, I'm kind of scared about what this secret is. I mean, I don't know if that's just for, enthralling people wondering what the secret is.
No. I think they've got some fuckery with the Electoral College coming. That's
what I was afraid of.
Yeah. I mean, there's just no question. Look at all of the machinating they did in 2020. They've started all of that.
In earnest.
Yes. And Moses Mike Johnson, who said on camera that he talks to God every day. And God told him, hey, buddy, you're Moses. And he said that on camera, and it lives on the internet. Like he's not a crazy person. Well, it's no surprise, moth to a flame. These two crazies are together, and they are looking up ways and scheming how they can cheat to win this upcoming election. But let me just play a clip for you at the same Nazi rally of Moses Mike Johnson speaking at this big Nazi rally, big Christian Moses Mike, BFFs with Jesus, and Donald Trump speaking here at the Nazi rally.
We revere the founding principles. We revere our Judeo-Christian foundations. We revere individual freedom and limited government and the rule of law and peace through strength and fiscal responsibility, free markets, human dignity, secure borders. But the other team doesn't anymore, my friends. This is not your father's Democratic Party. They are now full on to Marxism and socialism. They don't envision for us to save the founding principles and the greatest nation in the history of the world. Instead, what they envision for us is that we would be some sort of European-style Marxist borderless utopia.
Okay. Number one, that's so stupid. Everything he just said is so fucking stupid. Number one, the Democrats are Marxists. When the fuck does that kick in? Because we've all been living under a Biden economy the last 4 years, and he's brought from the Trump recession, he's had to bring it out, and industry's up, manufacturing jobs are up, inflation is going down, unemployment's at record low, stock market's out the wazoo. So where's the socialism and all of that? Number two, quit talking about a government control under Democrats. There is no bigger controlling government than the MAGA government.
Right.
You want to tell people who they can marry. You want to tell women what they can do with their OBGYN appointments. You want to allow billionaires to have one set of rules and working class Americans to not have one. It's the most controlling form of government I've ever seen. And I just want to go on the permanent record to say, I hate that little fucker.
Hate that fucker.
I hate Moses Mike Johnson. He is a charlatan. He is the worst that American culture brings forward. He's right there with Turning Point USA and the Heritage Foundation. And then they suck up to this guy who grabs them by the pussy, sexually abuses women, fucks around on his wife with a porn star, cheats on his wife, fucking Playboy bunnies, lies, dehumanizes people, dehumanizes poor people, dehumanizes sick people. All the while, Moses Mike would be like, oh yeah, God and I, tight as ticks.
We're best friends.
Oh, it's just disgusting.
And everything he said is a lie. I mean, they don't back the blue. The Republicans do not back the blue. Look at January 6th. They do not have any respect for the legal system. They don't have any respect for the Constitution. I mean, the lies go on and on and on, and the self-righteousness and the entitlement. He is one of the more disgusting people in politics, and that is a very high bar.
All right. Speaking of disgusting people in politics, you remember Lil Marco is Hannibal Lecter calls him?
I absolutely do.
Listen to Lil Marco here in 2016.
You compared Donald Trump to a third world dictator yesterday in an interview with the New York Times. How so?
Well, I don't know about a dictator. I said a third world strongman. You know, he's running for president, so no matter what, he won't be a dictator unless our republic completely crumbles, which I don't anticipate it will. But yeah, here's what happens in many countries around the world. You have a leader that emerges and basically says, don't put your faith in yourselves, don't put your faith in society, put your faith in me. I'm a strong leader, and I'm going to make things better all by myself. This is very typical. You see it in the third world. You see it a lot in Latin America for decades. It's basically the argument he's making that he single-handedly is going to turn the country around. We've never been that kind of country. We have a president. The president is an American citizen who serves for a period of time, constrained by the constitutions and the powers vested in that office. The president works for the people, not the people for the president. And if you listen to the way he describes himself and what he's going to do, he's going to single-handedly do this and do that without regard for whether it's legal or not. Look, I think people are going to have to make up their mind. I can tell you this, no matter what happens in this election, for years to come, there are many people on the right, in the media, and voters at large that are going to be having to explain and justify how they fell into this trap of supporting Donald Trump, because this is not going to end well.
All right. So proving that assholes can have moments of clarity.
Right.
That was Marco Rubio in 2016. And I totally agree with him.
100%.
Everybody's on the permanent record right now. You will have to explain your position after this election, after the fall of Trumpism. You are noted where you stood in history, which this came as a big surprise to me, this clip of Marco over the last few days. Let's listen to this.
Do you think people like General Milley, like John Kelly, are lying?
Yes, I do. And not more, but even if they aren't lying, or even let's say you don't want to call them a liar, I would say it's very dubious to see these accusations coming at the very last minute, right before an election. These are the kinds of things, you know, somebody says that in front of me, I say it right away, I walk out, I resign.
All right, so here he is. He's bent himself. He's checkmated himself. You can use only the information from Lindsey Graham.
Right.
You can use his words when Trump was running before in the Republican primary in 2016. And then you can use Lindsey Graham's words against him. The same with Kittenhill DeSantis. You can use his words. Nikki Haley. And you can go down the list. Mitch McConnell.
J.D. Vance.
J.D. Vance, exactly. Accurately said that he was America's Hitler. And then J.D. Vance was the speaker at Trump's Nazi rally. And so I just think it's rather interesting that all of these people are on record as to where they stood at this moment in history. History is not kind to dictators and fascists. It does not promote a greater good for people. People seek to be liberated from it. And at some point, these conservative Republicans had clarity on that. And they have all crossed over with tens of millions of Americans. They've all crossed over together into this desire for an authoritarian rule of law that demonizes immigrants, Black people, women, gay people, and they are loud and proud about it.
Here's my question to you, because I give this a lot of thought. These people, you just went over the list. Why is it that they have capitulated to Donald Trump? Is it a thirst for power? Are they scared of the MAGA base? Do they want favoritism in his new administration? What drives them to completely abandon their ethics and morals, in your opinion?
I think it's I don't think it's a black or white thing. I've thought about this a lot too. I think it's a combination of things. I think that inherently we were all raised in a racist country with white supremacist structures. So there's a little bit of that already exists in there. We try to move towards unraveling that and reconciling that. I think the people on the right have more of that in them than the people on the left, just inherently. And then I think that at first they found him abhorrent, and then they saw all the people that liked him. And then as he started pouring out more and more cruelty, something in them liked it. Because you have Mitt Romney, you have Liz Cheney, you have many others that have just drifted away and you never hear a word from anymore. A lot that do not speak out on it, that have drifted away. that cannot go there. But the ones that have gone there, there's some reward in it for them. There's some reward. And whether it's personal ambition or they like the cruelty of it, but I would say acquiescence to your personal ambition on the backs of demonizing other human beings would be something of some sort of sociopathy that exists in the brain that a decent human being wouldn't have the ability to do. I don't have the ability to be duplicitous like that. I can't do it. I can't do it on anything. I will fight for human rights with every molecule, every fiber in me. And if I misstep or if I think something the wrong way, I want to be told that because I want to be better. These people don't want that. And so I think it's a combination of, pre-existing conditions of racism that they have, ambition, a desire for cruelty, and this herd mentality that they've all jumped on. I also think a lot of it has to do with the hellfire damnation in a lot of American churches, not all, but a lot of them. And you know the ones that I'm talking about, and our listener knows the ones we're talking about, that tell people they're not good, that you can only be saved this way. This is the only way you can be good, that beat people down from the age of little kids. I think that sets up the psychological soil for them to like this cruelty. And so I think it's, a big study that we're going to have to do, and just tribalism too.
Right.
The age old thing of tribalism, but this is to see all these politicians bend and morph and go from clarity to just complete craven lunacy is something to see.
Yeah, it's a case study for sure.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you guys later.
It's so